There we go. Okay, so we really have the same, the learning goals today. We're still working with compound inequalities, being able to solve and graph them. But today we also are going to be able to look at a graph and be able to write. So they give us the solution on a graph, and we're going to write the algebraic statement for that. So writing a compound inequality shown on a graph. That's the first thing we're going to practice today. So when we are doing that, we are going to represent the shaded region. So we're going to look at the graph, and we're going to say, what's shaded on the graph? And then once we decide what is shaded, then we have to decide, okay, what type of inequality is this representing? Because remember, we have two types of compound inequalities. What are those? What's one of them? Samuel, what's one of them? An and one. Seth, what's the other? Or. Okay, so we have to decide, does the compound inequality represent an and or an or? Looks like we need to open our books to page 138. And our books open to page 138. Because after this one, it's going to be us recreating on our papers what the graph looks like, and this is what your expectations would be in your homework also, okay? So in this section, it is asking us to write the compound inequality shown by each graph. Notice what's different about the graph in the book compared to the one I drew in our notes. What's different? Holly, what's different from what it looks like in the book compared to how I drew it on the notes? For number 11. Let's look, check it out in the book. Sydney, what's different?
There were lesser numbers on there.
Yeah, I didn't label as many numbers on it, did I? I only labeled the endpoints like I told you get to get away with when you're doing the graphing, okay? So when we recreate these, we do not have to recreate them just exactly like they have them in there. We only have to label the endpoints. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this graph and write a compound inequality for it. Tell me, like without even stating the compound inequality, what does that shaded region seem to say to us? What's it saying? Do you think it's an and one? Okay. It is an and one. No thinking about it. It is an and one. Okay. So remember, the shaded region is our variable. So we pick a variable to represent that, and we say our variable. What do you want the variable to be?
X.
X. Okay. The variable x has to be what? What does it say? The variable x has to be, whatever you put in for x has to be, Blake, what do you think? What's one thing that x has to be? According to that graph. Less than or equal to what?
I don't know, because they're shaped.
That's the.
Okay, well then could you at least engage with me? So you know what? You guys are off on another planet. You could care less. You just want me to put something up here. You're going to copy it onto your papers, and presto, somehow or other you're going to learn. That's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm being kind of rude right now, and I'm sorry. But you know what? I'm so sick of having to pull it out of you. I need you thinking. I really do. And you need to want to think. Okay, Adam. I'm not mad at you, Blake.
You have to get X alone in the middle.
So X can be what?
There are 3 regions.
Pardon?
There are 3 regions.
There are 3 regions, yeah.
And X, like, it's like, okay, so I'm just going to use, like, something from last time. -5 is greater, less than, X plus 1 is, less than 2. That's from, like, last time's notes. Yeah, that's from last time.
So you think it's going to be that kind of a compound inequality. So the and, like Seth said, okay? But do you think we should state it like this?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're negative.
So the -5, can we have the -5 here?
Yeah.
But then, pardon?
That should need to be a -4.
Where, did I copy this from the book wrong?
Needs to be -2 because if you subtract 1 from -3.
Oh, but you know what? Well, here's the thing. You guys are making this more complicated than you need to because you're trying to make it into something that you have to solve. We just want this already has been solved, and we just need to show the algebraic solution part. So we don't have to do any solving. So here's what I'm going to tell you. You can get rid of this plus 1 in the middle. We just want the x in the middle, okay? And then I'm going to go back to what Adam had, like this. So now, x, the shaded part.
Oh, so it would be actually a -3 instead.
Okay, so here we would have a -3.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what is it saying? It says the shaded region has to be somewhere between -5 and -3, right? Are -5 and -3, are either of them included? No? How do we know whether they're included or not?
It has an or sign in the middle.
No. Pardon? Has the equal to bar, and when do we put the equal to bar? When what?
When it's equal or not.
Okay, so can it be -5?
Wait, okay, so it is less than or equal to. that
Because
one, yeah.
why?
Because they're shaded.
Yeah, because this is shaded in right
So
here.
they're both less than or equal.
And this one is shaded in, so it's included. They're both included, aren't they? So we need the equal to bars in both of those signs, don't we? They're included. So this is saying, whatever number you put in for x has to be between -5 and -3, inclusive. It includes -5 and it includes -3. So this is our compound inequality that you were just trying to, you thought you had to come up with a problem that you had to solve. No, you're coming up with the solution, really, is what you're
That's
doing.
all we have to write
That's
on all of these.
Well, on what we're doing right now, don't jump to conclusion, Adam, that we're gonna do that for all the problems of the homework, okay? Okay, let's go to number 12, let's recreate it in our notes. So we have, draw a number line. Remember, I say you only have to do the endpoints, so what's our first endpoint? -3, our other endpoint?
3.
Okay, so now go ahead and recreate that. What does it look like exactly in the book without having all those extra numbers? Okay, remember we look at the shaded part and then we describe the shaded part as a compound inequality. So, is this one of those where we're going to say x has to be between two numbers? This is an or one, isn't it? So we have this simple inequality here to state, or it can be this. It can come from one region or the other. So how are we going to state the first part? What's this one show? Oh, remember, go look in your notes from yesterday. Go ahead, look in your notes from yesterday. How are they stated for our ors? Once we solve them, what did they kind of look like? So on our ors yesterday, what did they look like after we solved them? Okay, so Samuel, what did it look like though? How would I describe this algebraically? What would that look like? But it's not an and one, so we don't want to do that. It's an or one. So in other words, we need an or in between here, okay? Adam, what do you think we could write for the first part?
Okay, x is less than or equal to -3.
Hey,
or-
stop, Adam, stop right there. Thank you, I'll let you finish it a little bit. So we're just describing this left end. X, the shaded part, has to be less than or can be equal to -3. But the other option is what, Adam?
X is greater than or equal to 3.
Okay, do we want the equal to part
Wait,
there? Is our circle shaded in at 3? I don't think it should have been. My book doesn't have it shaded in, does yours?
No.
No? Okay, so should we leave the equal to bar off? Or should we put it on? Leave it off. If it was shaded in, we put it, but it's not shaded in, so we're not going to include it. Here's our algebraic solution that graph represents. Okay, you go recreate the graph for 13 and try this one totally on your own. And while you're at it, feel free to do number 14 also, okay? So while you're at it, do number 14 also, and then we'll check it out, see how we fared. So, Holly, you done? Okay, bring your paper up, and will you do number 13 for us, please?
Sorry, can we get this?
Did you work with your finger, you just write with your finger?
Oh, oops. Are you looking erase it?
Here, you do this, and then you can just go like that, and then go back to the pen. Thanks, Holly. Okay. Anyone done with 14 you can do it for us? Cindy, come on up with your paper, please. You do number 14 for us. When you're done, you can check it out and see if you agree with these young ladies, what the algebraic solution should look like. Thank you, Cindy.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry.
Do we agree? Number 13, how do you feel about 13? You all agree with that one? Okay, so Holly's got the right answer for that one. So we'll circle it and say, okay, that one's good. How about number 14? Do you agree with number 14? Okay, so we'll say Sydney's got the right answer for that one. We'll circle that one. Okay. So this is some of what you will be doing in your homework today. Okay? Anybody have any questions? Okay. Apparently anxious to go on to the back. Let's go to the back side. Seth, I'm recording. Could you stop the tapping because it's loud on there. Okay. Okay, I want you to let's talk about. Whoopsie. What did you do here? Let me try again. There we go. Represent a real-world problem with a compound inequality and a graph. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the inequality that represents the situation. So we'll have an algebraic representation of it, and we'll have a graph representation. So you're going to pick a variable and describe it. We know we always do that when we're doing these word problems. You'll write an and or an or compound inequality to represent the situation, and then you will graph the inequality. So let's look at page 138, number 2. That appears to be the one we're going to do. The biology problem. Everybody there? Who wants to read it for us? Blake.
An iguana needs to live in a warm environment. The temperature in that iguana's cage should be between 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Inclusive, write a compound inequality and show the temperatures that are within the recommended range for graphic solutions.
Okay. Now, one little hint I'll give you is sometimes I do better if I graph it first. I can make the picture of it graphing it first. It makes more sense to me, and then I write the compound inequality. It doesn't matter which order you do them in, okay? So, anybody got a type 1 in here? You do, Samuel. Did you know that about that their temperature should be between...
Yeah, I have mine set at usually 90 degrees, and then usually at night I have usually around 65, 70
Okay, so if they'd like it warm, but then... Awesome. But they like it cool at night when they sleep?
Yeah, he has a heat pad under his tank, so then he has a log that he can crawl under, but he's getting a little bit too big for that. He's about 18 inches right now, and he's going to grow about to be 6 feet long.
I'm sorry.
18 inches.
Yep.
Huh.
And then he's going to grow about
6
long.
feet long?
Yeah.
That's taller than me. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's awesome. So this iguana, it kind of sounds like me though. I like it warm during the day and at night I like it cool when I sleep. Okay, so we are going to write a compound inequality in a graph to represent the temperature that this, iguana cage is, supposed to really be between. So what I like to, again, I kind of like to start with the graph because it just helps me. It says that it should be between what? 70 or 75? 70, okay? So 70 and 95. So those are like our endpoints, aren't they? And it should be between there. So that means we would shade between those two. We'll put our circles at them and shade in between them. But then they threw in this kind of word there that says inclusive. At least what does that mean? Circle should be shaded in. It means inclusive, means include them. So we're going to shade both of those in because it can be 70 and it can be 95. Now, is it easier to write the compound inequality for? Yeah, go ahead and do it. Write what the compound inequality would look like for this graph. Oh, we forgot to do something. I'm sorry. And put the instructions and I don't even follow them. Okay. First of all, stop before you write your compound inequality. We haven't picked a variable. X. Okay, so let's pick our variable and let's write something. X is what? What's it representing? Degrees. Degrees Fahrenheit. I don't need that part because I've already written the word degrees. Okay, so the degrees Fahrenheit. Let's write the word Fahrenheit. Let's get some practice spelling that. Fahrenheit. And let's just even, we're not going to write a sentence after the end of this one, so let's even be more, give it a little bit more explanation. Degrees Fahrenheit where? Outside? In the cage. In iguana's cage. Okay, now we know what variable to use in our compound inequality and what it's representing. So write this down if you have it, because in those problems of this kind of type in the homework you have to do that. Pick your variable and describe it. Have a graph. Have an algebraic solution. Who wants to offer up their algebraic solution up here on the smart board? That hasn't been up here yet. Let's get somebody else up. But thanks for offering, Holly. Okay, come on, Seth. You did a good job of reading. You know how to say all those words like us. Well, not everybody could look at that word iguana. Iguana. Okay. How do you feel about Seth's compound inequality?
It's supposed to have or after the 70, it's supposed to be less than or equal to X.
It just has a sign switch.
Did you accidentally just turn it around up here? So in other words, he's pointing out this part, Seth.
Both.
Okay, so here's what this says, and this is why it's important, because here's what this says. X, when we read this back, because remember how when we want to turn these around, when we're doing simple inequalities, we can rewrite this like this. Okay, so this says X is less than or equal to 70, doesn't it? So we want to change that around is all. So easy mistake to make.
So that means both of them, wouldn't they? Because
Yeah, the other one's in the right direction. You're right, Seth. So we don't have to turn that one around. Okay. Here we go. Super. Yeah, awesome. Okay, any questions on this one?
is that all we're doing?
So we did decide that we could not write it this way, and that's why we had to rewrite it like this. Okay, so Adam is apparently just dying. He gets busy on the homework. He keeps all we have to do, so, yes, let's get to it.
Can I say, would you, okay, so the 6 feet part about that iguana,
Yeah.
it kind of sounds almost like a Komodo dragon, but it's not, because a Komodo dragon's like, tail would be longer.
So is that too, Komodo dragon, that you have? Oh,
You can actually
Which
see
is our poisons.
oh, yeah, we don't wanna have them as pets,
Except they are fun to see.
do you have one?
No, they